guys, Astrocass here, back with a little astrology update for you for 2022. It's our first videos for the year, so that's super exciting. This one's a January transits video and it's for my Aquarius rising, so let's jump straight into it. So the sun starts off transiting your Capricorn 12th house, so this is just showing that you're really shining and focusing a lot of your attention on 12th house subjects. So the 12th house is usually the house of transcendence, the house of self-undoing. It's a very spiritual house. It's the house of isolation, withdrawal, and sometimes it's been linked to things like mental health, being in prisons, being in hospitals, working from behind the scenes, so any of those things that are quite hidden. So with the sun going through that house, sometimes it can just show that, I guess, for your vitality and your energy, you need to take a step back and rest, recover a little bit. So, you know, doing things like meditation or spending some time alone can be really helpful for that transit. Sometimes it can show, you know, maybe your mental health is taking a bit of a toll and you need to like spend some more time just alone or reaching out for help at the hospital, those sorts of things. Sometimes also the sun in the 12th can, you know, be like a pregnancy and stuff like that, where you kind of like homebound and you can't like leave the house, those sorts of things. So there's a lot of things that can come up with this transit. Also 12th house transits can sometimes mean moving as well, so relocating to a new location. So keep all those things in mind. But then on the 21st, the sun moves into your Aquarius first house, which just means you're shining in the area of yourself, your self-identity, your appearance, your body, and people are really taking notice of that. So Mercury, the planet of communication, news, and learning, starts off transiting your Capricorn 12th house. So again, you're thinking quite a lot when you're by yourself. So, you know, maybe going and doing things in isolation can be quite good for you, because it might give you some time to really think and learn and practice these things. You know, meditation might be quite helpful for you if you've got anxiety or anything like that, or maybe if your mind's a bit overstimulated, just, you know, isolating, withdrawing a little bit can be helpful. Maybe you're learning some new spiritual practices that you're working on alone. Maybe you're working behind the scenes, because Mercury is, you know, communication and computers, those sorts of things as well, technology. So writing a book behind the scenes or working on some kind of project behind the scenes can happen with that. But then on the 3rd, Mercury will move into your Aquarius first house, which just means you're communicating more about yourself, self-identity, self-branding, physical appearance, your body, all those sorts of things. Then on the 15th, Mercury will station to go retrograde in your Aquarius first house. So retrogrades always bring a time of reflection, revision, and revising things from the past, things that might not have been finished off or completed, or things that just aren't quite working. And Mercury is about communication majority of the time, and obviously in your first house is about yourself, your self-identity, your body, and your appearance. So with this retrograde, you might be thinking more about who you are as a person, like who am I, or how you're communicating to other people, or how people are you know, maybe misunderstanding you, or how you can communicate with other people a bit better about who you are as a person. And you know, other times with this transit, it can be learning more about yourself. So maybe this time can be really great to you know, learn more about your body, about yourself, and figure that out, because maybe in the past you've been thinking and starting off a few things that just haven't quite fit. And this can be also things like, you know, maybe exercise plans, because it does rule your physical body, or, you know, maybe you've had an accident or an injury or something like that, and you know, you've got to revisit that, and, you know, maybe you've got to go to a chiropractor or something like that, because you've got some news that's a bit confusing, or there's something that's happened that hasn't, you know, been finished off. So, you know, these kind of transits can bring up a whole heap of different things, but it really depends on your natal chart and what's being activated with this. So definitely keep an eye out on that one. Then Venus, the planet of love, romance, and money. Usually this is everyone's favorite planet. That starts off retrograde in your Capricorn 12th house. So again, just like the Mercury retrograde, Venus retrogrades again are asking you to stop, reflect, revise, and revisit things from the past, or things that aren't quite working at the moment. When it comes to Venus being retrograde, it's things like money, romance, and values. And this being in your Capricorn 12th house, again, it's things like transcendence, hidden enemies, isolation, withdrawal, you know, mental health, things where you're kind of stuck working behind the scenes, or, you know, stuck at home, stuck in a hospital, stuck in prison, those sorts of things. So I would say with this transit, you know, maybe there's been some really bad romantic relationships or something happening that's causing you to kind of isolate and reflect and revise and revisit those things. Sometimes for some people it might be maybe they're working behind the scenes and they're trying to figure out, hey, am I getting paid enough? Like, people don't actually know about the work that I'm doing. Am I getting paid right or correctly? And other times it can be relocation as well. So with the Venus retrograde in your 12th house, maybe you're thinking about, do I have enough money to relocate and move to this new place that I want to go to? So all of those sorts of things can come up with this transit, but definitely check out your natal chart and see what's happening there. And if you need help with this, definitely my contact details are down below. So if you need a bit of advice, support, or you would like a reading, then definitely reach out for that one. And Venus does spend quite a lot of time in your Capricorn 12th house as well. So it's quite a big transit. It's been there for a couple of months already. It stations to go direct on the 28th of January, so things should move forward a bit easier after that, but it'll still be going through that 12th house for you. Venus will still be transiting through there for another couple of months. So yeah, it's a very long transit through that 12th house for you. Then Mars, the planet of action, passion, motivation, aggression, war, starts off in your Sagittarius 11th house. So when this happens, you're definitely more motivated to spend time with your friends. You're more passionate about your friendships, networking, the groups that you're a part of. But just like the positives, there is a downside to Mars, and that's anger and frustration. So there can sometimes be conflicts with friends or conflicts within the groups that you're a part of in the community. So those sorts of things as well. On the 25th, Mars will move into your Capricorn 12th house. So usually with this, Mars being our planet of energy and how we take action, when it's going through our 12th house, usually it wants us to take a step back and spend a bit more time, you know, on self-care, recovering, so more time alone and withdrawing from other people. So it's sometimes a good time to not really be very social and do a lot of stuff with your friends, but, you know, spend more time at home or by yourself and just reflect a bit more on your energy and how you can, you know, refill your cup up a little bit. Sometimes it can show that you're really angry and there's things that just aren't quite working out and you're really frustrated, but you don't want people to see it, or you don't know how to tell people, whether it's with like people that are your enemies or just things just not going well. Yeah, sometimes your mental health can take a little bit of a toll with this transit as well. So definitely keep an eye on those things. But the more positive side of this transit can be taking action on spirituality, spiritual practices, meditation, you know, going on a yoga retreat or a camp or something like that. And the other positives as well is obviously like taking action to move and relocate, or, you know, taking action, working behind the scenes, getting all those tasks and duties done. If you do work behind the scenes on something, you know, like there's plenty of jobs out there that, you know, you're not really in the, I guess, public light, and that people don't really know what job you're doing or what your role is. So sometimes people don't really notice the work that you do. So if you do have a job like that, Mars going through that house can really just show you putting a lot of action and passion into those things that you're doing behind the scenes. Sometimes there's people that are ghostwriters for novels and books and stuff like that, where, you know, or they've got, you know, stage names and stuff like that. So that can happen as well. Then on the 3rd of January, you've got a new moon occurring at 5:53 a.m. at 12 degrees in your Capricorn 12th house. So new moons will bring new beginnings over the next 3 to 6 months in regards to your 12th house. So again, things like transcendence, spirituality, traveling, like relocating, working behind the scenes, mental health, all those sorts of things, isolation, withdrawal. You'll have all of those sorts of things coming up for you with that new moon over the next 3 to 6 months. But check out your natal chart and see how it's been activated with this new moon, and see if you've got anything at 12 degrees that is being activated as well, that might be playing a part in that new moon for you as well. Then you've got a full moon on the 18th of January at 10:48 a.m. in Australian time. It's about 28-ish degrees in your Cancer 6th house. So full moons bring cycles to a completion, to an end. So over the next 3 to 6 months, you'll notice some endings around those 6 house topics for you. So they can be things to do with your co-workers, your day-to-day work duties and tasks that you do at work, can be your routine, health and fitness. All those things can come up. Also pets as well. So with our full moon, there'll be some endings around those topics. If you check out when the last Cancer new moon was, that's when all these topics or events would have started, and now obviously they're coming to an end with the full moon. So definitely check out what was happening for you around the Cancer new moon, and that might give you a bit more information as well. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like so I know that you're enjoying this content or what videos to keep putting out, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my content. Thanks for joining.